Hello, and welcome to Whispers of Time. Today we tell the story of a boy born into hardship who faced poverty, violence, and adversity, yet rose to become one of the most feared and iconic boxers in history. This is the story of Mike Tyson, a man who transformed his struggles into strength and became known to the world as Iron Mike. Mike Tyson was born on June 30th, 1966, in Brooklyn, New York. His full name was Michael Gerard Tyson. From the beginning, life was tough. He grew up in Brownsville, a neighborhood known for crime, poverty, and danger. Mike's childhood was filled with hardship. He knew hunger, fear, and uncertainty from a very young age. His father left the family, and his mother struggled to provide stability for her children. From an early age, Mike had a spark, an intensity that set him apart. He was small for his age, but fast, strong, and fearless. However, he also got into trouble. The streets of Brooklyn were dangerous, and Mike found himself in fights, skirmishes, and confrontations that could have ended his life or future. By his early teens, he had been arrested multiple times. Many people saw a lost boy, but one man saw potential. That man was Cus D'Amato, a legendary boxing trainer and mentor. Cus recognized something extraordinary in Mike. He saw talent, yes, but more than that, he saw heart, determination, and a rare fearlessness. Cus took Mike under his wing, offering him not just training, but guidance, discipline, and a path out of the streets. Under Cus's mentorship, Mike learned that boxing could be more than a sport. It could be his way to change his life. Mike threw himself into boxing with the same intensity that would later define his professional career. He trained relentlessly, honing his speed, power, and technique. His punches were explosive, his movement intimidating, and his commitment total. By his teenage years, Mike had already made a name for himself in amateur boxing circles. He won numerous titles, and by the age of 18, he had set his sights on the professional stage. In 1985, Mike Tyson made his professional debut. He was just 18 years old, small, fast, and ferociously strong. From his very first fight, it was clear that he was not just talented. He was a force of nature. Opponents underestimated him at their own peril. Mike's combination of speed, power, and aggression made him almost unbeatable. He didn't just win fights, he dominated them, often knocking out his opponents in the first round. By the late 1980s, Mike Tyson's rise was meteoric. He captured the imagination of boxing fans worldwide with his ferocious style and knockout power. At 20 years old, he became the youngest heavyweight champion in history, a record that still stands today. Mike's journey from the streets of Brooklyn to the top of the boxing world seemed almost impossible, yet he achieved it through relentless determination, fearlessness, and the guidance of Cus D'Amato, who taught him not just to fight, but to control fear, harness power, and focus completely. But success was only part of Mike's story. Behind the fame, the championship belts, and the media attention, he faced immense personal struggles. Life in the spotlight brought pressures, temptations, and challenges that would test him in ways the streets never had. Yet even amid turmoil, Mike's talent and work ethic never wavered. Every punch, every fight, every championship was a testament to his resilience, discipline, and the lessons instilled by Cus. Mike Tyson was more than a boxer. He became a symbol of raw power, unyielding courage, and the ability to rise from the harshest circumstances. From a boy surviving in the toughest streets of Brooklyn to Iron Mike, the world watched as he captured hearts, intimidated opponents, and became an icon whose story inspired millions. By the mid-1980s, Mike Tyson's career was rising at an unprecedented pace. His first few professional fights were quick and decisive. Opponents often underestimated him, thinking his youth and size might be a disadvantage, but they quickly learned that Mike's speed, power, and ferocity were unmatched. Knockout after knockout, Mike built a reputation as one of the most feared fighters in the world. Mike's style in the ring was revolutionary. He combined explosive punches with incredible footwork, bobbing and weaving in ways that made him nearly impossible to hit. He had an uncanny ability to close distance quickly, delivering devastating blows before opponents could react. Each fight became a spectacle. Fans flocked to arenas to witness the raw energy and intensity that Mike brought to every match. In 1986, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at just 20 years old. The world took notice. He was not only a champion, but a phenomenon. His charisma, intensity, and unstoppable power captured global attention. The nickname Iron Mike reflected not just his strength, but the invincibility he seemed to embody. Every punch, every move, every fight demonstrated a man who had transformed his challenges and struggles into unmatched determination and skill. Mike's knockout streak was legendary. Many of his early opponents were finished in the first round. Some never left the ring standing. Fans and analysts marveled at his dominance, and young boxers looked to him as a model of what could be achieved with talent, discipline, and heart. Mike wasn't just winning, he was changing the way boxing was perceived, bringing excitement, fear, and awe in equal measure. But Mike's life outside the ring was more complex. Fame brought intense pressure. With global attention came scrutiny, temptation, and challenges that could have derailed a lesser person. Yet Mike's focus on training and dedication to Cus D'Amato's teachings kept him grounded, at least for a time. Cus had instilled in him mental toughness, discipline, and the ability to channel anger into power. These lessons became the foundation of every victory, every championship, every knockout. During this period, Mike captured multiple championship belts, defeating some of the most feared fighters in the world. He unified the heavyweight titles, proving that his dominance was absolute. Critics, doubters, and seasoned champions fell before him. His reputation as a fighter who could end a fight in seconds made him a household name worldwide. He was not just a champion. He was a symbol of raw talent, relentless work ethic, and determination. Despite his incredible success, challenges continued to follow Mike. Personal struggles, media controversies, and the pressures of being the world's most famous boxer tested him in ways the ring never could. Yet each challenge, each trial, only seemed to harden his resolve. He trained harder, fought smarter, and pushed himself to new heights. Mike's story became not just about boxing, but about overcoming adversity, harnessing one's inner strength and rising above circumstance. During the late 1980s, Mike Tyson's aura reached its peak. He was undefeated, feared, and celebrated. His speed and power were unmatched, and his dominance in the ring was nearly absolute. Yet, even in this period of triumph, the lessons from Cus D'Amato, focus, mental strength, and discipline, remained at the core of his approach. Mike understood that greatness is not simply about winning, but about preparing, persevering, and constantly improving. Mike Tyson's rise to global fame was not only about talent, it was about heart, courage, and resilience. He became an icon for millions, demonstrating that a boy from the streets of Brooklyn could rise to become the most feared and celebrated heavyweight in history. His knockout streaks, record-breaking victories, and charismatic presence made him a legend whose story would inspire generations to come. As Mike Tyson reached the early 1990s, his career was no longer just about boxing. It was about life under the spotlight, fame, and the challenges that come with being a global icon. By now, Mike was the most famous boxer in the world. Fans adored him, opponents feared him, and media attention followed him everywhere. Yet with fame came personal struggles that would test his character, resilience, and focus in ways the ring never could. Despite his ferocious dominance in the ring, Mike faced legal and personal issues that threatened to derail his life. He encountered controversies, conflicts, and the intense pressure of being constantly in the public eye. These challenges forced him to confront his own choices, reflect on his life, and learn difficult lessons about responsibility and resilience. While many questioned whether he could continue to perform at the highest level, Mike demonstrated that even the strongest warriors face battles outside the arena, and it is courage and determination that allow them to rise again. In 1990, Mike Tyson was defeated for the first time by Buster Douglas in one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. This loss shocked the world and shook Mike's confidence. Yet even in defeat, he displayed the mindset of a true champion. Rather than giving up, he used the loss as fuel to train harder, focus more intensely, and reclaim his position at the top. This period was a turning point, a lesson that even the strongest can stumble. But resilience and dedication define true greatness. Mike returned to the ring with renewed determination. He won subsequent fights, regained titles, and continued to demonstrate the power, speed, and fearlessness that had made him a legend. His comebacks were not just victories in boxing. They were victories of the human spirit, showing that setbacks do not define a person. How one responds to them does. During this period, Mike also faced personal challenges outside the ring. His relationships, finances, and public controversies demanded attention and maturity. While these struggles were difficult, they also contributed to his growth. Mike began to understand that greatness is not just about skill or fame, but about character, perseverance, and the ability to learn from life's trials. As the 1990s progressed, Mike Tyson remained a figure of fascination worldwide. People admired his explosive talent, his legendary knockouts, and his larger-than-life persona. Yet increasingly, Mike became more reflective, recognizing the importance of legacy, discipline, and the impact he could have beyond boxing. He began mentoring younger fighters, sharing lessons of dedication, focus, and the mental toughness that had brought him to the top. Even as controversies and setbacks persisted, Mike Tyson's dedication to his craft never wavered. He continued to train with intensity, seeking not just victories, but mastery of his sport. His reputation as Iron Mike remained intact, a symbol of raw power, relentless determination, and the will to overcome obstacles. By the end of this period, Mike Tyson's story was not only about boxing victories, but about the complexity of life as a global icon. It was a story of triumphs and failures, of fearlessness in the ring and resilience outside it, of talent forged through discipline and determination. His journey demonstrated that even the most celebrated champions face challenges that test their character, and that greatness is defined not only by what is achieved, but by how one rises after falling. Mike Tyson's legacy continued to grow, not just as a boxer, but as an inspiration to millions. His story taught that raw talent can be transformed into greatness through discipline, focus, and resilience. It taught that adversity can be a teacher, setbacks can be fuel, and that courage, heart, and determination define the true champions of life. As Mike Tyson entered the later stages of his career, life both inside and outside the ring became a test of endurance, discipline, and self-reflection. Injuries, age, and the pressures of fame challenged him more than any opponent ever could. Yet even in these moments, Mike's dedication to boxing, his craft, and his personal growth remained unwavering. The late 1990s were a turbulent period for Tyson. He faced defeats, controversies, and personal struggles that reminded the world that even legends are human. Yet Mike's response to adversity showcased his resilience. He worked tirelessly to regain his form, learning that perseverance and focus are more powerful than talent alone. Every punch, every training session, and every fight was an opportunity to prove to himself and the world that setbacks were temporary, and greatness was earned through effort and heart. During this time, Tyson also began to reflect deeply on his legacy. He understood that boxing was not just about winning matches, it was about discipline, respect, and the ability to inspire others. He started mentoring younger fighters, sharing the lessons he had learned from Cus D'Amato and his own life experiences. He emphasized the importance of focus, mental toughness, and using challenges as fuel to grow stronger. Despite the difficulties, Mike continued to captivate audiences around the world. His fights were events, drawing attention not only for his talent, but for his relentless energy and fearless approach. Even after losses, he demonstrated the mindset of a true champion: learn, adapt, and return stronger. Fans admired him not just for his victories, but for his courage to face each challenge head-on. Mike Tyson's story during this period also reflected his personal transformation. He began exploring life beyond boxing, diving into ventures in entertainment, public speaking, and mentorship. He learned to channel his intensity into constructive outlets, showing the world that personal growth is as important as professional achievement. Tyson became a symbol not just of raw power, but of resilience, adaptability, and the strength to reinvent oneself. As the years went on, Mike's later fights were about more than titles or championships. They were about legacy, self-mastery, and inspiration. He demonstrated that even when the body ages and the spotlight shifts, determination, focus, and heart remain the ultimate tools for achievement. Fans continued to celebrate him not just for his incredible skill, but for his journey. From a troubled child in Brooklyn to a global icon who overcame adversity at every step. Mike's influence extended beyond boxing. He became a mentor, a storyteller, and an advocate for personal growth. Through interviews, appearances, and social media, he shared lessons of discipline, resilience, and courage. He emphasized that greatness is not defined by fame or victories alone, but by the ability to rise after failure, to inspire others, and to dedicate oneself fully to one's passions. Even in retirement, Tyson's name remained synonymous with determination, fearlessness, and resilience. His life taught that obstacles are not the end, but an opportunity to grow stronger. That talent is only the starting point, and that true champions are forged through hardship, relentless effort, and heart. Mike Tyson's journey became a beacon for millions, a story that demonstrates that no matter where you start, with courage, discipline, and focus, you can achieve greatness. After decades of fighting both in and out of the ring, Mike Tyson's story became more than just about boxing. It was about redemption, personal growth, and resilience. Even after retirement, his life continued to inspire millions around the world. Mike had faced poverty, violence, legal troubles, personal mistakes, and public scrutiny. Yet he emerged as a figure who could transform his experiences into lessons of strength, courage, and determination. Tyson embraced new opportunities. He ventured into entertainment, appeared in films, podcasts, and television, and shared his story honestly, revealing both his struggles and triumphs. Through this openness, he became a mentor and motivator, showing the world that even someone who has faced the darkest times can rise, learn, and inspire others. He emphasized that life's challenges are not roadblocks, but opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more focused. Mike's influence extended beyond boxing. He inspired young athletes, entrepreneurs, and individuals facing adversity to believe in themselves. He shared that success is not merely about talent, fame, or fortune, but about discipline, heart, and persistence. He taught that failure is not permanent, that mistakes are lessons, and that true greatness is defined by how one responds to challenges. Family became central to Mike's life. He focused on being a father, a mentor, and a positive presence for his children. He taught them the same principles that had guided him: hard work, honesty, courage, and the importance of self-belief. He reminded them that life is not about avoiding mistakes, but about learning from them and becoming stronger. Tyson's story became a blueprint for turning adversity into strength, fear into focus, and struggle into opportunity. As Mike looked back on his life, he reflected on the lessons learned from Customato, from the streets of Brooklyn, and from every fight he had ever stepped into. He understood that boxing was a tool, a way to discipline the mind, master the body, and overcome fear. Every punch he threw, every victory he achieved, and every setback he endured contributed to the man he had become. He transformed raw talent into excellence, chaos into focus, and struggle into inspiration. Mike Tyson's legacy is not measured solely by the championships he won, the knockouts he delivered, or the records he set. His legacy lies in the story of resilience, redemption, and transformation. It is about a boy who grew up in the harshest circumstances, who faced incredible odds, yet fought his way to the top through courage, dedication, and heart. It is about a man who embraced his flaws, learned from mistakes, and used his journey to inspire millions to face their own challenges fearlessly. Today, Mike Tyson is remembered as more than a boxer. He is a mentor, a storyteller, and a symbol of perseverance. His life teaches us that no obstacle is too great, no past too troubled, and no challenge too big to overcome. He showed that greatness is earned not just through talent, but through resilience, focus, and the unwavering belief in oneself. Mike Tyson's story is a testament to the power of the human spirit. From a boy navigating the dangers of Brooklyn to the world's most feared heavyweight champion, and finally to a man of reflection, mentorship, and inspiration. Tyson demonstrated that with heart, determination, and courage, anyone can rise above their circumstances. His journey will continue to inspire generations to face their fears, embrace their challenges, and pursue their dreams relentlessly. The story of Mike Tyson is proof that life is a battle, and every battle, whether in the ring or in the heart, can be won with discipline, resilience, and courage. It reminds us that even the most troubled beginnings can lead to greatness, that every struggle can fuel achievement, and that one person's journey can ignite hope and inspiration in millions. Mike Tyson will forever be remembered not only as Iron Mike, the champion, but as a symbol of what is possible when determination meets talent, and when the human spirit refuses to surrender. His story is eternal, a guide for anyone who dares to dream, fights through adversity, and never stops believing in themselves.